Welcome back, everyone. The 7th annual Garage Band Reunion is taking place this weekend. The event, which features several local musicians, benefits the Alzheimer's Day Services of Memphis and a scholarship fund. Jeff Bailey and Paula Self are both here to tell us all about the event. Good to see both of you. How's everything?
Very well, thanks.
Folks, before I came on, I was getting an education about the Garage Band movement in Memphis. And why don't you go ahead and, for people who don't necessarily know about how these whole garage bands came about, give us a little history.
Well, Ron Hall has written a series of 3 books about garage bands. He highlighted bands that were playing back in the 60s and 70s, of which there are about 400 bands in and around Shelby County, all working. And the bands that he highlighted in the books were, all of them had a record. They all had to have a record to be in the book. So we chose 5 bands that will be playing at the Garage Band Reunion, and they're all doing it as a benefit for the Alzheimer's Day Service and the Ricky Huddleston Memorial Scholarship Fund.
Now, how many of these bands are still together performing today? And
All
how
of
many
them.
did you have to count? Oh, they're all.
All of them. All of them.
You never outgrow it.
You never outgrow it?
Never outgrow it.
Now, you can't be older than 25, so I'm sure you do not remember that. But I'm so good, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
I'm okay with you for that.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of these bands? Were you in Memphis? You do remember these bands?
Absolutely. You can't be from Memphis and not remember. You had to be around then, but Larry Raspberry, he was with the High Steppers and the Gentrys.
Right.
So,
And you talked about Eddie Harrison and the Shortcuts.
Eddie Harrison and the Shortcuts.
Okay.
I was this tall going to the Gateway Club. Mr. Harrison, Mr. Harrison.
So, I mean, did they have that kind of following? Were they kind of cult figures in Memphis, these band members, or was it just your local band?
Yeah, I wouldn't say cult figures, but they were looked up to because they played the kids' music.
Okay. And so you guys are basically trying to bring that back with this fundraiser now and recreate that excitement.
Right.
Tell us, you talked about the money going to the scholarship specifically, but let's talk more about the Alzheimer's Day Services. What specifically does that organization do?
They provide an outlet for the caregivers to take the Alzheimer's patients and residents for daycare. And the residents and patients go and they go on, what is it?
Field trips?
Field trips, do crafts, and just, it's an opportunity for the resident and patient to really just have a break from the mundane everyday, and it gives the caregiver a break to go take care of their thing.
And I would imagine for the caregiver, it can be an emotionally trying and emotionally draining experience just to try to care for an Alzheimer's patient.
It is.
You've actually gone through it yourself.
Right. My dad was a participant at Dorothy's Place for about 6 years.
Okay.
And we were trying to keep him out of a nursing home. So my mom and I had him at home. And it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week adventure.
You describe it as an adventure, and I would imagine it is quite an adventure. You typically hear of these kind of cases when someone happens to wander off and people are looking, but in talking to other people who've dealt with a family member who's had Alzheimer's, one of the most challenging things is, or one of the most emotionally taxing things tends to be the person doesn't know you. You know, you spent your entire life with them, and then the person doesn't know you for that moment.
That's true. My dad would experience that, but the most unique aspect was that he could remember things that happened to him in World War II over 50 years ago, and he couldn't remember what he had for breakfast that morning.
Wow.
So we would get him talking about things that happened to him way back in the day, and the Alzheimer's Day Service does the same thing. They take them back in time.
And so is that kind of why you guys decided to put this kind of thing together, just to kind of help that group specifically in that mission?
I'm from Kirby Pines retirement community, and our Alzheimer's unit is Job's Way.
Okay.
And anybody who's been touched by Alzheimer's, the caregivers do actually need a break. They do actually need a break, and it's such a wonderful thing for them to be able to bring the people over and let them be stimulated by the daycare people.
Sure,
You know, and it's, daycare is not really a good word, but that's exactly what it is. You know, they stimulate them, and they get a day of enjoyment.
Right. As for the actual party, the Garage Band reunion, this is going to be it's a party.
It is.
It's a party.
It's definitely a party. Yeah, that's a. And this year we're going to celebrate Central High School's 100th reunion, and so we're all joining the Garage Band reunion and we're going to party together.
And you went to Central.
I went to Central.
So it is going to really be a reunion for you, a class reunion.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming in. That's a lot of fun. And please enjoy the reunion. I'm sure you guys will.
Appreciate it.
Not a problem, folks. The Garage Band reunion is this Saturday at the Warehouse. It's located at 36 East G. Patterson Avenue. Doors open at 6:30. Tickets are $50 per person. Again, the proceeds benefit the Alzheimer's Day Services of Memphis. It's a great event, folks. Go on out there and support that.